Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I'm Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY. You can find me and the podcast on Ravelry Facebook, Google Plus, and knitsup.libsyn.com, and hopefully, if I do this right, on iTunes this time. I'm going to make this, it'll be a little bit longer, but a little bit shorter than some of the other podcasts I've done. It's been quite a few number of months since I have podcast. So, I have one work in progress. This is a sweater I'm working on for my goddaughter. And that's the cat being annoying in the background if you hear meowing. And this is a Raglan sweater. It's an Anne Norling Gale Torquay pattern for the children's top-down Raglan. And I'm using Bernat Pop, which is 100% acrylic yarn. The main color I'm using is Paisley Pop, and then I also threw in there's like a plum violet colorway, and I will also be using a blue colorway for the hood, and that looks like this. This is Blue Blaze, and it's 100%. It comes caked up like this with different colors, and it'll make striping type of things like that, and it's 100% machine washable and dryable. I'm going to talk about going to Canada. I went to Canada about a week ago over Memorial Day weekend. Stayed into the week a little bit, and so I'm going to talk about what I bought in Canada. So if you're really not that interested in looking at yarn acquisitions and some needle acquisitions, then you might not be interested in this part, but you might be. So I'm from Syracuse, so it takes a few hours, about 2.5 hours to get to the Niagara Falls part of Canada. I stayed there one night, really nice hotel, watched the fireworks over the American Falls from my room, nice steak dinner at the hotel, the whole bit, and walked down the hill and saw everything during the daytime, which was really nice. And then went to the Spin Right outlet store that's in Listowel, Ontario, which is about a couple hours north of Niagara Falls. Would have been faster had I not known that Google Maps had avoid highways checked, and I was going through 30 miles worth of farmland in a flat floodplain with wind turbines on either side. I was passing horse and buggy, and another horse and buggy, or a pickup truck. And everything was regional roads, so that was pretty wild. But I finally got to Listowel, and I finally got to the shop. They were having a big ball tent sale, which is slightly different than their August tent sale. I don't think I would go back up for their August tent sale because I bought so much yarn. It was crazy the amount I bought. I have a garbage bag next to me. That is the flipping around you're hearing. What I did buy in the tent was some Bernat Pipsqueak in the sitting pretty colorway. I got 4 of those. It was buy 3 balls, get 1 free, so I wound up paying $12 for 4 balls of this, which is a good deal. It's a number 5, and I think 2 of them together will make a baby blanket, so that makes 2 baby blankets for $12. Really good deal. The other thing I wanted was Bernat blanket. Well, they had sold out of that in the tent. Some of the people that had gone earlier said they'd waited an hour and a half in line to check out, and like I said, the Bernat blanket was completely sold out. They couldn't tell me when they were going to get another shipment, so I did not want to hang around overnight and go back to the tent the next day. But inside the outlet store itself, they had Millens for 29 cents an ounce. A big ball of Bernat blanket is 10.5 ounces. So if you take times 10.5 by 29, you get a little over $3. And that's $3 Canadian, which means my American dollar was trading for $1.34 Canadian. So it's an even better deal. So probably definitely less than $3 for a big huge ball of that for me. So I bought this color, which is Harvest, I believe, might be the colorway. And then I got some Pine Bough, a couple of small skeins of this. I got, pardon me as I reach over here, I got some sand, and I got caramel. Caramel's the darker color, and it took me a while to figure that out. I got fall leaves, a little one of that. I got taupe. I got 3 or 4 skeins of this. And then I also got I think they call it Holiday Amber. About 6 small skeins of this, which will go with the caramel color as well. And then I got one that is a purple clover, maybe, might be the color. I'm not really quite sure on that. And that was good. I made a good amount of purchase there. And then I also bought some Turquoise sock yarn in there. I got 2 each of these balls of yarn. One is Sunburst Stripes. The other one is Rainbow Stripes. You can kind of see the difference between them there. They're pretty dark. And then I got blue raspberry. Wow. Blue raspberry. So that was good for that. And then I also bought a couple of skeins of the Blueberry Blaze, which is the blue color I showed you before for the Bernat Pop. The remnants were definitely a good deal. Then I went over to some place called Lens Mill Outlets. That would have been the next day, down in Cambridge, which is about an hour and 15 minutes south of Listowel, still in Ontario. I went specifically to the Cambridge store because there was someplace right next door where I wanted to go as well that also sold yarn. So at the Lens Mill Outlets, I got Bernat Baby Blanket, which is 100% polyester. This particular one is imported from China, but it says it is tested for hazardous substances, so I guess that would help with any qualms you had if you were worried about it being imported from China and it being baby stuff. And this is 100% polyester, like I said. They say it's a number 4. I only bought 1 ball of it, and this is called Calico Quilt. It does have gray running through it, and it's pretty gender neutral, I would say. I don't know if it's stripes or how it works up, but there was a pattern on the label, or you can go to their website, that gives a 6 to 12 month size for a baby sweater, which I thought would be cute. Who knows when you're going to have babies in your life. And then I also bought some Regia 6-ply. That's the digital color. Looks like that. And the color is that. So if you're interested in that, that was like $17.50, but it kind of shows you how it works up. And this is like a sport weight of that, so it's 6-ply, not just 4-ply. And then they also had Regia 2-ply reinforcing yarn for $1.99 for that. So it's been a long time since I've seen Regia reinforcing yarn, so I bought some of that just to have it on hand. Can never go wrong with that. And then next door was a place called Cambridge Fibers. Everything is in the Cambridge Fibers building, I guess you would say. And they do some manufacturing there. It looked like a lot of sample stuff. So I have a feeling they might do some subcontracting for major yarn companies, is my impression, but I couldn't tell you that for sure. And I didn't really ask all that much, although I did buy 2 of these, which is Cambridge Fiber mill ends, and it's 100% acrylic, and they're a rainbow stripe type yarn. It's black and then orange, yellow, green, red, blue. So I bought, this is a pound's worth for $5.99 Canadian. I bought 2 of those, so 2 pounds of this. So that'll be good for the next rainbow sweater I make in a few years for my goddaughter, because I figure by then she's not going to want, you know, huge whopper stripes, and it'll have some black in it. It'll look more like a normal type sweater, I guess, would be the way I would phrase it. And that'll be really good for that. And then they also, I was kind of looking through, I bought some really nice turquoise yarn for a friend of mine who loves turquoise. And then I was looking on the shelf, and they had mill ends of of Peyton's Croix sock yarn. And they don't normally get it. The lady that was working the counter said that normally they get these about every, she said the last time they had these was 3 years. They'll sell these, and if they sell out, they don't know when they'll get them back. But they were selling it by the, you know, by a big bunch of it. And this, they told you how many grams it was and the price for it. So normally a pair of socks for me will take 100 grams, give or take, of Peyton's Croix. So this is 162 grams for $5.70. This is the Eclipse Stripes colorway. And this is, I think they call it the Mexicali stripe colorway. I know Mexico is in the name of it. And this is 155 grams. And I think this was $5.50. So, I mean, in the States now, if I can get them on sale, a 50-gram ball will be $5. And so you're talking $10 for a pair of socks. So this is like 3 balls, basically. So this is like $15 worth of yarn for me if it was on sale for a third of the price. And that's a really good deal. So I got a lot of sock yarn. I've gotten a lot of blanket yarn, and I was really happy with the trip. Google Maps will work for you offline if you have an American phone that does not work in Canada, which I found out I did, but Google Maps has a feature that'll work offline somehow, and it would give me directions. The navigation would work and speak to me. My OnStar did not work up there, even though OnStar had told me it would work, which I was bitterly disappointed with, but since I couldn't make a phone call to anybody, I couldn't really complain. My OnStar phone wouldn't work in my car either. It was not a good scene, so I was going from McDonald's to McDonald's or using hotel Wi-Fi in order to, you know, pre-plan the route and, you know, download the directions to the phone and work offline and stuff. That worked okay. I was very glad that it did. At one point I stopped somewhere, maybe right in Cambridge at the Chamber of Commerce, and used their Wi-Fi, and they gave me a map of Ontario and things. All in all, it was a good trip. It was pretty short. I was in and out in 3 days. I could have stopped at IKEA in Burlington, say, and looked at some stuff, but by then I was just like, I want to get back to the United States where my phone works. That would be good. The only other thing I bought was a couple of needles in Len's Mill Outlets that are Red Heart needles. They're the starters. This is a size 7, 8, and 9. They're the short needles. They're, let's say, 8-inch needles. And I use these for dish cloths because they're really good for that. And then my goddaughter at one point wanted to learn to knit. She has a big ball of like mega bulky or something, and these are size 15, 10 millimeter needles, and they're plastic and pretty tough. So I thought that would be good to use for that. Those are all the purchases I made in Canada. I took a lot of pictures. I watched the fireworks over Niagara Falls. All in all, it was a good trip. I think if you didn't have a lot of yarn, I would go back to the August sale. You definitely want to make sure that you have that Google Maps ability. If you're from the States and you don't think your phone will work, or that you go with somebody, there is a more direct route rather than going through all of that farmland. So that's all I've got, kids, and I hope you have a great week. I'm going to try and work on my goddaughter's sweater. I am also going to try and mow the back lawn. Everything's come out here as far as flowers and grass and all of that fun stuff. And the lab is super busy, of course. I can't think of anything else going on. If you guys want to post pictures of what you're working on, or if you've gone on vacation and you want to post some pictures of your vacation, go right into the group. I'll put a thread up there for this episode, and just put in, pictures of anything you want to, as far as vacation knitting, vacation yarn. Did you go to the tent sale? Are you planning on going to the tent sale in August? Is there a really great sale someplace you want to tell me about? Because that'll be good. And I think, other than that, I can't think of anything else going on, other than we can make the cat make a cameo. Come here. There's the cat. There's Tigger, my cat, who's meowing, and who was fed with her $65 programmable battery run feeder while I was in Canada, and now is a tubby kitty. Meow. She's a cat, and she doesn't want to be on camera because she knows she's on camera because she can see herself. Are you adorable? She's adorable. You're free. You're free.